Spartans! What is your profession?
My body's telling me yes. Back again with the R. Kelly settings, bruv.
Oh no. No. Oh, no.
You get me? What's going on, people? Dzień dobry.
Oh, people, listen, you see this guy, right? One of these days, he's just going to get us cancelled for no frigging reason, honestly. But yes, people, another edition of Knightz Roundtable Discussions where we discuss all sport all the time. Got my guy, he's already introduced himself too with me. How are you doing, sir?
What's good, brother? Dzień dobry, man. Let's get it cracking, bruv.
Oh, no, trust me, indeed. And people, as usual, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Get them likes up, get them subscriptions. Get interactive. We want to hear from you. We want to hear more from you people out there. So make sure you write in the comments and let us know what you're thinking. Double header today. Starting off with UFC, and then we're going to talk about boxing. So it's the starting off UFC 260 review show. As you can see, the man in the background, Ngannou. It was Stipe versus Ngannou 2. Ngannou coming out with the big victory over Stipe, KOing him in the second round. People, just so you know, Truth will be joining us as well at some point through the podcast. Might be in the middle of this one, or it might be for the boxing one. We'll see what happens. But as you know, seeing as we're talking about UFC, got our Nate Diaz at Dentistry, our MMA connoisseur Tooth with us. Bro, what did you think of that performance from Francis, bruv?
Ooh, deadly, bruv. It is officially the era of Motubu, bruv. You remember the dictator of Zaire, fam?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I'm telling you, bruv, the UFC are fucked now. That heavyweight division is fucked, bruv. Mobutu is resurrected, fam.
Oh my days, bruv.
I'm telling you, bruv. Hey, deadly, bruv. Vicious, ferocious, bruv. Calm, calculated, scary, frightening. I don't know how many more words I can describe that performance, bruv, but complete and utter, like, murderer, bruv. Murdered him. Made him do the Randy Savage elbow drop, bruv. You get me? Made man like Stipe do the Randy Savage elbow drop, bruv. And just for good measure, bruv, threw another one at him, even though my man was sleeping, bruv.
Yeah, sleeping, tried to give him a hammer fist as well at the end, bruv. I'm like, he's already dead, fam.
Dead, bruv. Hey, bruv, put that Simpsons meme in it, bruv. You know what I mean? Put that Simpsons meme in there, bruv. He's already dead, bruv.
It's crazy. I mean, bro. I was just watching it and I was just like, you know what was a turning point for me? I'm gonna get you to break it down from a technical point of view.
Yeah.
But you see when Stipe went in for that takedown and then Ngannou stopped it, bro, I knew it was over. Because I'm like, if you can't take him down, there's nowhere else to go unless you're gonna basically run and make him tired in rounds to get to round 4 or 5. But as soon as he did that takedown and he stopped Stipe, and then he was throwing them punches in, and it's only because Stipe's got that granite Croatian chin that he survived. And then in the second round, just baited him, caught him with the left. Stipe went down. Then Stipe tried to come back, caught him with the right, but then Ngannou got him with the left again, and then that's all she wrote. And then obviously, we know Stipe is known for his stand-up, but bro, how important was it that he's improved so much on his takedown defense?
All I want to say, before we get serious at that, bro, you know when Stipe went in for that punch, bro, you know what was going through his mind? My body's telling me yes. Fam, I don't know what the fuck he was thinking, bro. Hey, I'm telling you, we got jokes on Knightz at the round table, bruv. Yeah, we got jokes up in here as well, bruv. Bruv, he thought, yeah, I got these, and then Mutubu just bloop, to sleep, bruv. But yeah, bruv, no, you're absolutely right, man. First of all, they were fighting in a smaller cage, which was, I think, in favour of Ngannou, man.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they were fighting in a smaller cage.
Okay.
They were fighting at the UFC Apex Arena, which is much smaller than your classic octagon. So
Okay.
that going into that fight, if you look at it from a technical standpoint, obviously Stipe's movement's going to be much more limited because he doesn't basically have that much room to move around, use his footwork. And he just wasn't there, bruv. He just wasn't there from the first round. You saw like he barely threw anything. And that takedown was almost out of desperation. There was no setup to the takedown. He just kind of went for it. Now, given his past experience with Ngannou and how easily he was able to take him down in the past, and given that we really didn't have any idea of how much Ngannou had improved since the last fight in terms of his grappling.
Yeah.
That was a big, it was a big, I don't know what.
Statement.
Yeah, bruv. Yeah. It was a big statement. Like, after that, like you said, we knew that fight was not going to go Stipe's way. Do you know what I mean? And Ngannou had 30 pounds on him as well. Much heavier guy than Stipe. Much heavier guy than Stipe. So you have to look at the logic behind that as well. Why is Stipe coming in so light? Because he wants to probably move around, dance around, use his footwork, and death by 1,000 cuts, bruv. Put the meme in. Do you know what I mean? That was probably his game plan to do the same thing that he done to Ngannou in the first fight. But like we said, we hadn't seen much of Ngannou since that first fight. But what we do know that he regained his confidence, and if he wasn't scary before, he's even more scarier after the Stipe and the Derrick Lewis losses. Putting all that together, and then bearing in mind that Stipe was in 3 wars with DC, and it was basically rock 'em, sock 'em robots. Now, for a guy to be getting touched that many times, bruv, it is like, ooh, how good are your chances going to be against a guy that can put you out with one shot if you're getting into those kind of wars? And then in the second round, and then Ngannou showed levels, man. He threw leg kicks, he threw a head kick. He did. Shit that we've never seen Ngannou do before. He defended that takedown, and not only did he defend the takedown, he also got the dominant position from defending the takedown.
Yeah, because he took his back in it.
He took his back, bruv, and started throwing them fucking hammer fists and swinging them hooks in from behind, bruv, just looking for that button to switch to put Stipe's lights out, man. So it was an all-out dominant performance, bruv. And I'm telling you, bruv, General Mutubu of the UFC, man. I'm telling you, the king.
This guy. It's mad though. Like, it got rough, scary. Obviously, he calls himself the Predator, bro. He's just shown why he's so dangerous now. And with the takedown defense and the leg kicks in his arsenal now, he's just broadening and making himself an even more dangerous fighter and not being so predictable or one-dimensional. I just wanted to get your thoughts on, because it was emphasized after, Joe Rogan, your boy, was talking about it to Ngannou. Just explain to us, because Ngannou had Usman in his corner, and he did a lot of stuff with Usman in his training camp. Did you see that as very significant, considering that we know how good Usman's ground game is?
Yeah, absolutely, but I don't think all that credit should go to Usman.
Not all of it, but like in terms of like the fact that Usman's got good grapple game, he's a champion, so he can transfer that champion mindset over to him just to help. It's just something that Ngannou didn't have before.
To be fair, I think Usman was there more of like a moral support, countryman, continentman kind of. Do you know what I mean? He was just there to be a sideman to the Ngannou show. we hadn't seen, even if you were following Ngannou on Instagram and if you were following his social medias, and, you know, sometimes these fighters put clips up of their training camps, we didn't really see much of Ngannou doing any sort of grappling training. And if I'm not mistaken, he was training at Team KOTR, which is Randy Couture's gym, and Randy Couture obviously being, you know, world-class wrestler, Olympic level wrestler, and a legend in the UFC, Hall of Famer, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And he was also in Expendables, bruv, which, you know, watch out, Knights of the round Table subscribers and viewers, bruv. We're gonna have something special down the line. We're gonna be getting into movies as well, bruv.
No, all of that,
bruv. A little plug there, but yeah, it was just one of those things where it was smart by not revealing too much information, because now he had this giant coming out party where it's like, look, he could do it all. He can defend your takedown, and not simply because he's just big, because he was big before. When in the Stipe fight, he was big, but he still got taken down. Now he's big and he knows what he's doing. Again, that takedown was like, he almost, it was, bro, it was almost like watching a child try to take down an adult, and like, do you know what I mean? Or like a human try to take down a gorilla, and the gorilla just sprawls it. Do you know what I mean? Just sprawls it like it was nothing. But more impressively was everything: the patience, the grappling, the kicks, you know, the cardio. Do you get what I mean? The IQ. And obviously the power was always there. Like we said, that podcast we made didn't get released, but we said several times, Ngannou just needs to touch you. And that the setup to the knockout was a lead cross, left hand. You know what I mean? Almost like a stepping jab. And that was it. That knocked Stipe right off his bearings. Do you get what I mean? And that almost woke Stipe up into doing something. Because the whole time he hadn't done anything significant. So out of desperation, like in the first round, out of desperation when he tried going for a takedown, in that second round he tried, I love the way DC put it, man. DC put it the best way possible. It's like, when you jump in the fire with Ngannou, you're going to get slept. You're going to sleep. And that's exactly what happened, man. He jumped in the fire. His body was telling him, yes. And he jumped in there. He tagged Ngannou. Ngannou just came back with a short left hook, bruv. Put his lights out.
And that's
all she wrote, man. Made him do the fucking Randy Savage elbow drop. Do you know what I mean? Shades of George Grove sitting on his leg. You get what I mean? And then just for good measure, man, he threw in another fucking nuclear bomb at him, and that was it, man. And it's a dangerous heavyweight now. I think it's safe to say, we may be jumping the gun, we may be getting too excited here, but this is the Ngannou era now. Do you know what I mean? Stipe had his era. I think this is the Ngannou era now, man.
We'll talk about that Ngannou era, but I just wanted to ask something about Stipe, because he is still right. I know he lost. It's 1-1 with him and Ngannou. He's still touted as the greatest heavyweight of all time for now. Where does he go from here in terms of the UFC? What does he do? Does he try and invoke a rematch with Ngannou straight away? Does he fight Derrick Lewis in the interim whilst Ngannou faces John Jones? What next for Stipe in terms of where he goes now?
That's difficult to tell. He needs to go home, get his rest, chill with his family. Do you know what I mean? And just recover, man, because that was a brutal knockout, and can't jump back immediately after that. You know, and you need, after a knockout like that, you need, in my opinion, some fighters do it. Like, we'll get into it with the Dillian White and Povetkin fight, but it can go both ways. It doesn't matter what caliber you are. It can go both ways. You can either come back and have an absolutely brilliant performance and remind everyone why you're still one of the greatest out there, or it could really change you. Do you know what I mean? It could really like mess up your, like what happened to Tyron Woodley, which we'll get into as well.
Oh God.
So I don't know, and I don't think we're going to get into it now, aren't we, bruv? This is just segueing into that, you know, what we want to really get into.
Yeah. But I wanted to get something in on Stipe first before we go into that.
Because realistically, he's out of the, like, as far as fan goes, they don't want to really see a rematch. That was a definitive KO. And as far as the UFC go, they're not really interested in billing a rematch. As far as Stipe goes, you know, we need to give him some time to recover and see what he says. But he wouldn't be mad if he doesn't get the next title shot, and rightfully so.
So does he fight Derrick Lewis next?
Well, the UFC are talking about setting Ngannou up with a rematch with Derrick Lewis, because Derrick Lewis has been on a tear. He's got the most knockouts in.
He's the number one contender, isn't it?
Yeah, he's number one contender. He's got the most knockouts in heavyweight history. He's been on a really good run of form recently. I can't remember who his last loss was against, man. It might have even been against DC. But since that DC loss, which was a few years ago now, he's just been knocking everyone out, apart from Ilir Latifi, who moved up from light heavyweight. But that's simply because Derrick Lewis doesn't take this shit seriously. You know, he doesn't do no cardio. He doesn't take, and this is all self-admitted. Like, he says this stuff in interviews. So I think the UFC are trying to get Derrick Lewis versus Ngannou, which I'm all for. But fans, we all know who they want to see.
We know who we want to see. Yeah, my guy, Bones at heavyweight, bro. Everyone's been chatting that smash. I think people are forgetting who Bones is, right? You need, and don't get me wrong, yeah. When I watched that fight with Ngannou and I saw him stop Stipe's takedown, I was like, I don't know if I want Bones to fight this guy anymore. Because real talk, I'm just like, but I'm being realistic. In terms of skill set, he's probably the only person that can stop Ngannou now from just dominating the heavyweight division. The only thing I would say that's against Bones is obviously that he's not a natural heavyweight. Yeah. But in terms of Arsenal, he's got the most weapons that anyone left has got. But two, is that the fight that you want? I know you want Derrick Lewis and it's a good rematch, but we want to see Bones and Ngannou. That's the fight we want to see, don't we? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree, man. We didn't get put through all of this for nothing. We didn't get put through missing a Dominic Reyes and John Jones rematch. We didn't get put through John Jones relinquishing his light heavyweight title. We didn't get put through a potential Izzy and Jones match. We didn't get put through Jones doing all this training to go up to heavyweight for nothing. You know, it has to have some end result. Now, the media are reporting that there's obviously a kind of, there's no breakthrough being made with negotiations. Money.
And we know how Dana plays. And Dana's an OG, man. He knows what he's doing as well. But it doesn't sound like Jones is getting paid from, if you take Jones's side of the story, it doesn't sound like Jones is getting paid what he wants. Right? Now, a lot of people are saying he's scared. A lot of people are saying this. A lot of people are saying that, alluding to things which are not true. I actually believe Jones in this. I believe him. I actually think, well, they're not paying him. And that's why he's not really entertaining the idea that he's going to fight Ngannou for peanuts.
Listen, you can't, I don't care who you are, bear in mind, everything is against him in this fight, right? The weight, right? The fact that he's going up to, he's fighting at heavyweight for the first time. Ngannou's on a tear. He hasn't fought in 17 months or whatever it is, and counting. Everything's against him. So you think I want to go in there with the guy that calls himself the Predator, who's been sleeping the guy that's touted as the greatest heavyweight of all time, what, for £2.50? You must be out of your mind.
No, I agree, bruv. I agree. Pay the man. And this is the fight we all want to see. And Do you know what I mean? Like Jones even said on his Twitter, because you know Jones loves his Twitter, man.
Oh yeah, he loves his social media.
Yeah, I mean, his side of the story is all there. So if anyone's interested, just go on his Twitter and you'll see everything he's saying. I think he said I think it was yesterday, he wrote a tweet saying if he's gonna let everyone know how the negotiations go, as in like numbers and crossing the T's and dotting the I's. He's gonna put all the information out there and people can decide if he's being unfair or not. And I respect that. When you put it in the public sphere like that, then it's almost like you're so confident that you're in the right, you know. If they're paying him the same sort of money they're paying him to fight like that he fought Dominic Reyes for,
Ridiculous.
then I'm like, yeah, bruv, that's a joke thing, bruv. You can't be accepting that. But at the same time, if the UFC are going to pay Derrick Lewis much less and still get fight, then I wouldn't be upset with that. But at the same time, it's like, it's not the fight everyone wants. That is the big money fight. That's the pay-per-view fight. That's the one that everyone's been waiting for, itching for. It's
the biggest fight in UFC right now.
Yeah. 100%.
It's the biggest fight. I'm talking, don't get me wrong, obviously we know when Conor fights, you're going to get the armchair fans, the people that don't even care about the sport, they just want to see Conor McGregor. But in terms of mixed martial arts, the hardcore fans, and even the casual fans, this is the biggest fight in UFC. There's no bigger fight out there unless Khabib comes back to fight GSP. No bigger fight. I just want to put something out there before I let you go on to. Jones has been calling for money, not since Ngannou's won the belt. He's been calling for money over the past 2 years. It's the reason why him and Dana fell out in the first place. Because I think the same thing happened with Gamebred as well, why he fell out with Dana over money. So before people start jumping on the bandwagon and say, oh, Jones is only bringing up money now because he's scared of Ngannou. No, he's been calling for the money for years. As the truth has finally decided to join us. How are you doing, sir?
Going on, lads.
But Truth, carry on.
Yeah, man. I agree completely, bruv. And it's not only all fighters that have entered that sort of pay-per-view and transcended into the mainstream. They've all managed to get that leverage with Dana. Do you know what I mean? But the one thing about Dana is that, bro, with all these politics, you can go to sleep because you know he makes these fights happen. Like, let's keep it. He always, at the end of the day, this is all the kind of like the Emmerdale Coronation Street settings that we have to go through before these fights occur. But they always happen, don't they? He always makes these fights happen. So I'm not worried. Do you know what I mean? And kind of in a way, the only reason we're talking about it, because it's all, you know, it's all in the media right now and they're making a story out of it. But realistically, like, when has Dana let us down? When has Dana never made a big fight?
Listen, I can't go against that. As much as I'm not a fan of Dana White, the fights always happen. But as we say, it's because UFC is under one umbrella, so it's a lot easier to make than boxing. But at the end of the day, he still gets the fight done. Truth, we're just talking about Bones and Ngannou as the next fight. How you feeling? How you feeling about that?
Has to be. I'll tell you what. If you said to me before, I would have said Bones has too much for Ngannou, despite the power, because just going on Ngannou previously, in terms of him just being a knockout artist, I think Bones as a natural born fighter, you know, he's got fighting inbred in his system. I always thought that Bones would definitely getting into deep waters. And then I don't think Ngannou could, you know, go past round 3. But after seeing him against Miocic, he's started to become a student of the game. And that means that he's learning, he's working on different things. He was so relaxed in that fight, like he knew he was going to walk away the victor. Decent little wrestling in there in the first round, defending the takedown, getting the takedown on his own. Some dirty punches when he had his back. He threw a few kicks in there, which I didn't see. I was like, what's this heavy guy doing, chucking in kicks? You know, it didn't look great, but the fact that he's got the confidence and you know, he was comfortable enough to throw it shows that he is learning. So in terms of that fight, I think that's the biggest fight in UFC. Forget Israel, especially after he lost to Yan, Israel Bones and Ngannou. I think that is the biggest fight for all UFC fans.
That's what Tooth and I were saying. And listen, we'll see what happens. Obviously, they're talking about money right now. Hopefully, like, we get past that. As Tooth said, Uncle Dana never normally lets us down. And obviously, the fallback fight is the Derrick Lewis rematch. He is the number one contender, so he will have a say if the Bones negotiations don't work out. But that's it, because truth joined too late. We're done with Ngannou and Stipe, but at least he got his 2 cents in. Now, guys, I hate shitting on people, right? But we have to talk about Tyron Woodley.
Oh, man.
Your boy.
Bro, like, don't be wrong. And this is the one time, people, where Tooth will say it's my boy. And he's actually my boy. But honestly, like, bro, Tooth. We said it, even though it didn't go out. We said it. If he loses this fight, he needs to retire. Bro, it's time. I don't even know who this guy was that he fought, to be honest.
Nah, don't disrespect.
Nah, no disrespect. I'm just being genuine.
To be fair, the opponent he was fighting, Vicente Luque, the babyfaced assassin, bro. He's been in the rankings for a long time. He's been a silent killer. Bro, I've posted many of his fights on the group. This is the thing, man. Like, I'll tell you guys, before these guys start blowing up and before these guys break into the top 10, top 5 and become contenders, I'm sending you guys, like, bro, watch out for him. Vincente's last fight was against Wonderboy and he lost, but he put Wonderboy in deep waters. And before that, he has been in wars, bro. What you saw against Tyron Woodley was not a one-off for Vicente. That's all of his fights. All of his fights are that exciting. All of his fights are that vicious and that brutal. A fight I would recommend everyone to go see is Vicente versus Barberena, where he knocks him out in the 3rd round. And this is a back and forth slugfest. And he knocked him out in the 3rd round in the last minute with a knee. And both men are literally gasping for air, exhausted. And that's exactly kind of what happened in this fight. But in the 1st round, it was an all-out war. It was 120% from the jump. You know, they were in 5th gear as soon as it went ding, ding, ding. Tyron came rushing out, bro.
Yeah, he grabbed him.
Yeah, man, it's something we've never seen Tyron do. And he fought like his life was on the line. Like, normally he always says that kind of stuff. Like, again, if you follow him on his social media and the shit that he puts out, the Colby fight, the Usman fight, the Gilbert Burns fight, he's like, yeah, I'm fighting like this is my last fight. And then what he does is, like, he spends 5 rounds with his back against the cage and just gets picked apart. This time he actually fought like his life was on the line. So it's hard to criticize him because for once he came out looking for blood, looking to finish the fight. The throwback Tyron Woodley, the kind of Tyron Woodley that won him the belt against Robbie Lawler when he came out within the 1st minute and starched him. And it's a shame to see him lose because that's his 4th fight in a row, but maybe it is time to hang it up.
No, it's time.
I thought that fight might have saved his career.
Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Maybe not time to hang it up. Maybe.
Literally what Tooth said in terms of all his previous losses before, they were just him getting stomped, and it was kind of depressing just to see him getting stomped. But this one, he came out and it was an enjoyable fight. Like, at the end of the day, that's, you know, for fans, that's what you could ask for. And it's not like he got whooped. Like, remember, he caught him. Yeah. He caught him. He rocked him. And then he went in for the kill and just got caught himself. Like, it was a good tussle. So
I don't know why you lot are trying to sugarcoat this shit.
Well,
it's time for him to go.
Bruv. Tyron was doing cartwheels across the fucking cage, bruv. He got my man was doing rollies. My man went into a UFC fight and ended up doing the fucking gymnastic Olympic fucking routine, bruv.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to his legs, were giving me too much joke.
My man was doing the Soldier Boy and the chicken dance and all of that, bro. You get what I mean?
No, but come on, you prefer him losing like that as opposed to the way.
Oh yeah, to his previous ones, yeah. But bro, it's 4 in a row. As much as two said that this guy is in the. I think what was his ranking? Was he 10th in the rankings?
No. He was in the top 10, but he wasn't 10th. I think he was either 5th, 6th. He was definitely in the top 6, top 8 for sure.
Bro, anyway, his ranking was lower than Woodley's. Like, I'm sorry, but Woodley, your time's up. Because he's not beating none of these other guys. He's not beating none of these other guys. The only thing Woodley can do now is go and fight Logan Paul or Jake Paul and start doing some exhibitions, bruv. I'm like, his time in the UFC or at least go down to Bellator, join Yoel Romero and Rumble Johnson.
I wouldn't advise going Bellator, bro. Bellator's got some killer welterweights, bro. At one point, the Bellator welterweights were better than the fucking UFC welterweights. Now, bear in mind, that was, I would say, around 4 or 5 years ago, before the rise of people like Kamaru and Colby and Gilbert Burns and Vincente and Wonderboy. But, you know, they've got Douglas Lima over there. Killer. I don't see Tyron Woodley beating him. You know, I don't see Tyron Woodley beating...
I've been watching loads of Bellator recently, so yeah, I know you're talking about Lima.
Yeah. Well then, bro, he needs to start doing exhibition fights if he wants to. Bro, I'm sorry.
He said it himself, fam. Before this fight, he was on Instagram Live or whatever whatever social media platform he was using, and he was talking about somebody asked him if they gave you $1 million to fight in bare knuckle, would you do it? And he was like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'd do it. So it almost tells you where his mind state is now. So
it's all about the money.
Yeah.
How old is he? Is he
39?
Oh, damn.
Yeah, right. This is what I'm saying. Listen. I said, like, just take the L. You went out and you didn't lose like how you lost before, but you still lost. There's no shame in saying, you know what? Here's the gloves. I'm hanging up. Go do some exhibition, go do bare knuckle, go do MasterChef, go do something else, because the young guys are here and you're not going to get anywhere else with it. And don't hurt your career. Like, you had a good career, you held the belt for a while. I mean, don't let people start forgetting that and just see you as a journeyman. Don't turn into a journeyman for the UFC, Tyron Woodley. Like, leave where you still got some credibility.
DJ, bro, his body's telling him yes, fam.
In truth, you know, listen, when you watch this back here, you're gonna see what that means, bro. This guy's an idiot. He's trying to get us cancelled.
This guy, I hope you're not bringing up R. Kelly references.
That's exactly what he did.
Oh my, say my mother, man, telling me no.
Oh man, but yeah, people, that is it.
Hey, listen, yeah, the way he Vincente had him stumbling across the cage, you would have thought it was Fiesta, fam.
I was laughing, but I kept on replaying that moment. This guy, even though I like Woodley, his legs were on gel. Man was Bambi. He was literally skating across that ring.
He had him chicken dancing to the after party.
Man was looking like Woodley's legs are looking like some giraffe, bro.
Hey, I don't know if you watch that guy, the animator, the UFC animator, Mujahid Fudalat.
Oh yeah, that dude. Yeah,
hey, he's got Woodley doing the chicken dance to his own song. I'm falling in
You better find
Listen, since we're shitting on Woodley, yeah, let's go deep, bruv. Listen, you remember the other day when I was talking about Tony Bellew doing OnlyFans, bruv?
Yeah.
Listen, bruv, hey, it would not surprise me, yeah, the way Woodley has tried looking for attention throughout his career, bruv. It would not surprise me if my man's on OnlyFans, like, in the next few months.
This guy, honestly, you see when they find you, yeah, I'll give you up, you know. I'll give you up. I'm not even joking. But yes, people, that is the last bit of this segment from the UFC Review 260. Don't worry, because listen, UFC 261, absolute madness coming in a couple of weeks. We're going to be doing the preview show for that. Obviously, Two Spoy, Game Bread, Masvidal versus Usman. What's the other 2 fights?
You caught me, bro. Fuck it.
You got Shevchenko versus Andrade.
Oh yeah, the 3 title fights. Yeah, so
and then what's the Chinese girl's name? Zheng.
Wei Li Zhang versus Rose Namajunas, bro.
Fuck Rose, bro.
Rose is your girl, innit? Is that
Bro, all of them. Listen, Fug Rose is my wifey. Shevchenko's my wifey. Do you get what I mean? And Gamebred's my boy, bro. So let's get it, man.
It's gonna be absolutely exciting, people. You're not gonna want to miss that. But we're gonna go into a break because after that, we're gonna be going over to the boxing scene, talking about the Truce boy, Dillian White.
Dillian Wright
versus Dillian White 2. So we shall see you in a bit.
In a bit.